Cheers.
Cheers.
Hi, I'm Roberta. Welcome to my garden. I'm here today with my friend Paul Carmichael, who's going to tell us a little bit about Caribbean food. Welcome, Paul.
Hi, everyone. Hi,
So,
Roberta.
hi, Paul. What do we need to know? What do we want to tell our cooks at home about the essentials of Caribbean
Merry Christmas, first off.
food?
Enjoy December and enjoy cooking. I'd say just have fun with your kid. Um, Enjoy exploring. Enjoy the punchy flavors of the different islands. And I would say, even like, if you care to go a little bit further and do some research and read up on the islands and see what things are about.
So, punchy flavours, does that really start to define Caribbean food for you?
I'd say so. It's been something I've been thinking about for more than half my life. Of like how do I define like the cuisine of a region, right? And as we were speaking about off camera before, it's like although it's very regional, there's really similar threads because it's literally we all share a particular history, and even though I don't know, I think the food there is based on slavery and colonialism.
Right?
So it depends on like where you like what island you're in. So like
Mm-hmm.
Puerto Rico, they speak Spanish. They had They were a Spanish colony. Barbados, British colony. Colony.
There's some
You know,
French
there's some
influence, some
French.
Dutch.
There's Dutch. Yeah, there's some Portuguese. Um,
So, what are the threads that weave through when you talk about punchy flavors? Are we
yeah,
talking about strong seasonings?
yeah. This food season. I don't want to say aggressively is a good word. Um,
Plenty of salt, plenty of chili.
Chili sometimes, chili not sometimes.
Yeah.
There's like in Jamaica, food's pretty spicy. In Haiti, the food's pretty spicy. In Barbados, it's not.
Okay.
Uh, Haiti was a French colony. Jamaica was a
Spanish?
no, Jamaica was a British
British.
colony.
Okay.
But I haven't done this research, but my thought process is that whatever tribes from Africa came to Jamaica, there was a different group that went to Barbados.
Right.
So the food in Jamaica it's really it's not for the most part it's got a lot of heat.
So the
Yeah.
slave traders were collecting people from different parts of Africa, and that
Only the West,
right.
but because there was multiple cultures
Sure.
in that region. Uh, Slavery's real messy, man. They did a lot of really messed up things where
You think?
they mix people so they couldn't communicate
Wow.
uh, because there were so many different languages,
Sure.
and yeah, there was just a lot of like. So it wasn't just like one.
It's not like
Yeah.
African food.
No,
It's
no, no.
food of many different
Food
cultures
of many
that
different
was
cultures that
transplanted.
was transplanted,
Right.
and all from the west of Africa.
Now, I think one of the things that I noticed with the recipes that we've worked on is there's a lot of lovely fresh produce, especially tropical fruits, great vegetables. Is that a theme that runs through
Yeah, 100%.
freshness?
Tropical, yeah. The area is tropical, so everything's tropical. Like, and then every country has like rice. There's always rice
Okay.
on the table. Like,
Is that the main staple? Is that the main carb?
um, rice and usually like root vegetables. Like,
Okay.
there's yams and eddles and sweet potatoes.
Okay.
Those sort of root vegetables, like lots of those. Um, those are the things that you find those everywhere, like in every island.
Okay.
But then the approach it might be a little bit different in every island. That's the only difference. So
So-
like rice and peas mixed everywhere.
Okay. Good, because we're doing that.
Yeah, like in a dish everywhere. But some people and the pea really doesn't matter. So there's pigeon peas, black eyed peas, field peas, split peas. Like I can remember eating them all.
It's that combination
red
of
beans.
Rice and legumes to fill up people and give them energy.
And nourishment. Uh, in Puerto Rico, I'd say like the legumes are usually particular ones
Okay.
where I remember growing up in Barbados, and mom would just make whatever, you know, like it would be split peas and rice. But if she ever did split peas, it always was with salt cod for some reason.
Okay. And then Puerto Rico was where you worked, right? After
Puerto Rico, yeah, I lived there for about a little bit over 3 years.
Okay.
Yeah,
Now you
I
mentioned
loved
mom.
the food there.
Tell me about the food of Puerto Rico first. Then, what
Oh,
did you love about
it was very different than the food in Barbados.
Okay.
And I love they have like a whole fried culture. So like they call them cuchi fritos. So there are all these little dishes that are fried.
it? Okay.
Oh my God, they're so good. And there's this little part in the island that there's all these little stands.
fried food stand.
Yeah. Oh my God, yummy.
All right. Now you mentioned mum.
Yeah.
And we're talking about a Caribbean Christmas. So what would be a typical Christmas feast in the Carmichael household?
I think Christmas was early mornings, church, then a big feast of food. Mom would go around, pick people up. So whether it's like really elderly people that were alone, or I'd say homeless people, but there was like only one homeless guy in our neighborhood. So
But he came along,
he
right?
came. Yep. So she grabbed him. Uh, there was this guy that like suffered really badly from like mental illness. She'd grab him. And it'd just be like this Christmas full of not necessarily random people, but it was
People who needed a
people
family
who
for
needed
Christmas
a
Day.
family and who needed lots of food.
Lovely.
And there was lots of that.
And were there any dishes that stand out as Christmas dishes that maybe you don't have the rest of the year that were special for Christmas?
Okay, I need to like rewind to being a kid because like the older I got, the more things I just made for myself, you know, or mom would be like, "Oh, you really like this?" We'll just make it all the time rather than just for Christmas. So I'm trying to remember like what was typical Christmas. I would say me, mom, and dad would tag team food. So there was always ham, like definitely a Christmas ham. There was definitely some sort of poultry, rice and peas. There's a dish called jug, which is like this pea stuffing. Then it was like actual stuffing. Sweet potato pie was always there.
Okay.
Macaroni pie was always there. Mom loves coleslaw. That was always there.
I love coleslaw too.
So the poultry would be like a turkey or a chicken. Like now, like because the family's smaller, it's like she'll do a turkey leg because she just wants turkey. You know.
It's interesting. The British influence is really strong in Barbados.
Oh,
isn't
yeah.
it? When you're talking ham and turkey for Christmas,
It's
I mean,
same.
okay.
It's like being in. It's like Thanksgiving.
But I bet it tasted better in Barbados.
I'd probably argue that. I'd say mom's a better cook than a lot.
There you go. All right. Well, I think we should get into the kitchen and show these people how to cook Bajan food. Did I say that right?
Yeah.
Do you know, I don't think many Australians knew what Bajan was until you arrived. I think you've introduced a new word to the
Yeah,
Aussie.
it's like our little slang word for Barbadian.
Okay.
Yeah, like you would say, "Hey, Paul, where are you from?" I'm like, "Barbados." So you're like, "What's that?" Like on my passport it says Barbadian, but if you in Barbados we just call each other Bajans.
I
So
like it.
it's like the thing.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, here's to you, my favourite Bajan. Let's get cooking. Cheers. Merry Christmas.